Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Ears to the East, where we're talking about Band-Maid, the Maid
Woo!
band, the band made of maids. And yes, I'm wearing the hat just in case anyone thinks I got insane and didn't know anything about the band and was just repeating two words. I am a fan. I think most people following this channel are probably already fans of our other two channels. But if not, hello, welcome, subscribe, and like and all that stuff. Or maybe watch the content and decide if you want to do it then. That might not work in our best interest. So just maybe subscribe and like now.
It's not the hat I'm
So
worried about. It's the maid outfit you've got in the cupboard that you showed me before.
do you mean in the closet?
He's still wearing the dress.
Right. So yeah, we wanted to talk a little bit today because one thing that I keep on seeing this in chat, and I think some people are saying this in like in good spirits, but some people have been showing a degree of frustration. And this is a complicated topic. Everyone has different points of view, but I'm going to break into this a little bit. Now, we know Band-Maid, obviously, post-COVID, have really been sort of getting out there, touring a lot. They've been doing a lot of tour work here in Japan, and they obviously had really great breaks in America. I was really glad to see them opening for Last Rockstars. They did a whole video talking about just what a really great thing that was, even if they were the opening act, how that was really good for them and good for Japanese music as a general to bring their sound out alongside such big stars, and yeah, just all the great things that Band-Maid are doing for their image. And yet the question keeps on coming up, especially for fans who are still back in the UK. I'm glad to say I'm in Japan. For fans in the UK and Europe, like you, there's a lot of people who are saying there's a degree of frustration about, okay, why are Band-Maid not coming to Europe? Why are Band-Maid not coming to UK? I mean, I'm obviously taking from a more dramatic example, but I've even heard at least two people who've said, look, if Band-Maid just keep on going to America and don't come to the UK, then as far as I'm concerned, that kind of is going to have they're saying that's going to have a massive effect on whether I'm even a fan anymore, because there's some fans who feel very disrespected by it. Now, for me, I can see there's two sides to this. This is a very complicated conversation. But before we get into it, like I said, I maybe have like ways of looking at it from having worked in like the music sphere myself. But I'm kind of interested, as someone who is like a professional fan, Neon, like
That's a nice
the ways
term.
you. Well, yeah, because I mean, like, as a reactor, you're like the voice of fandom. That's what music reaction is. You're speaking on behalf of people who are, reacting to music as fans. And of course, you've been seeing Baby Metal. Baby Metal have been there. Yeah, Baby Metal have been touring in the UK. What's your feeling about this? What do you feel about this? Because of course, they've been in America a lot. They haven't really been in the UK. Scandal have been over to Europe since
Yeah,
post-COVID.
I'm half and half because I can see it from like take the fan aspect away a little bit and try to see it as like a promoter of the band or probably management and all that. And then obviously cracking down on America makes sense. It's the biggest country in the world. There's the most fans. If you can break America, you can break pretty much
Biggest
anywhere in the
market,
world.
I think you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Yeah, it should.
I know, I'm just being pedantic.
Yeah, like I said, if you break America, you can break pretty much anywhere in the world. But the downside to that is there is the rest of the fucking world. We're feeling a bit
Well,
like drought at the minute. But I kind of understand it from both sides. Like you said, take the fan aspect out of it. It's nice to see them being popular. It's nice to see them touring. It's nice to see them doing festivals, and it's nice to see them get their name up there and all that a little
yeah,
bit more. On the
because
fans,
when they're at festivals and when they're opening for other artists, at least they are kind of exposing themselves to new fans.
yeah,
Don't even think about it. So at least they're exposing their music to new fans.
there'd be a few happy people
We've
in
had
chat if Miku exposed
Yeah,
herself
we've
to
had
the
too many
fans.
like for anyone who hasn't been following this channel, we've had too many accidental double entendres happening here, and so I need to be very careful about. It's not Neon's fault. It's the fault. I blame it on the people who watch this channel. They're all just degenerates. It's you guys. But I mean, I'm glad they've been exposed. So I guess it's this thing. I think there's that feeling, like. I don't know if this is something they have this like stereotype in other countries, but definitely in the UK, we always had that stereotype about, you know, when you're like with maybe like a phone provider or something, and they seem to always be advertising offers for new customers, but you're like, hey, why do they never have offers for long-term customers? I was kind of thinking a lot of fans seem to be, well, this group of fans seem to be very much suggesting this, like, okay, well, Band-Maid are out there, like, you're spreading the word, going to festivals, doing all this, you know, going where the, you know, the biggest possible hoovering of new fans is, but like, I think some people feel like their loyalty maybe isn't being rewarded. Now I'll just say from my perspective, I think from a business perspective, Band-Maid are doing the right thing, especially considering right now people are really hungry for gigs. Really hungry for gigs.
I think the knock-on effect for COVID is still a thing as well. I mean, it wouldn't be too bad for that. Personally, I think 2024 is probably the most likely year that we'll probably see a lot of maybe Japanese acts come back to Europe, or even possibly to America as well, because there's lots of bands that haven't toured recently. Love Bites being one of them as well. Again, I know we're gonna do a separate video on that, so I don't want to say too much, but there's so many bands there that could
we hoover up the views as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, it's a harsh one because you kind of see it and you kind of. I think the reason why some Band-Maid fans may be getting a little bit agitated is because they did a few shows in Japan, then they've gone to America, and then they're back in Japan. And it was like I remember when I was messing with you and I turned around and said, "God damn it, they're not coming to the UK," and you were like, "Well, you can't blame them for touring in their fucking home, you know, their home country." And no, you can't.
Yeah. It's like I think we talked about this on my live stream the other night, but yeah, it's really true that like when people are like, oh, they've gone back to Japan, I'm like, yeah, they're Japanese. It's like, yeah, you can't blame them for touring in Japan. It like costs them nothing, and you know the crowd are like their home crowd. It's like they know that if anything goes wrong in their career, they'll always be able to go back to their home crowd, which I don't see anything going wrong. But you get the point. You always build up the people where you're from. I think my thing, which I kind of said, so like Baby Metal are doing this tour at the moment, which is only a few stops, I think, in Europe. It's not a big tour, but they're doing like a few stops, and I think this is the things I totally get from a business perspective what Band-Maid are doing, but I think it would be wise of them to just announce, even if it's just like a 4-stop tour in Europe, just sort of like do one somewhere in the UK. Do maybe 3 in Europe, just sort of go across Europe, do one in Spain.
You know what Germany, you know what I would love. Again, this is complete random bullshit, but I hope it like just the imagination of it. But Baby Metal still haven't announced who's opening for them when they come back to the EU, which I was actually surprised how quick they're actually coming back. I was really surprised by that. I genuinely didn't.
Hoping for Band-Maid.
Why not?
That would be so epic, and then all that jealousy you have towards me being in Japan would suddenly be returned if you have the ability to go see a Baby Metal Band-Maid crossover tour. I mean, that would be like the ultimate fan fest. I think you would have like people like eating off limbs to get tickets. That would be some extreme thing.
I know. I can only hope. I don't think it would happen, but imagine that.
Can you imagine how much the photographs would blow up if just between their sets, like both of them appeared on stage at the same time? Or if Band-Maid came on to replace Kami Band for one song. Can you imagine how much the overseas Japanese music fandom would fucking lose its shit?
Yeah, that would be again. I don't understand that. There's potential there. Like, I mean, again, if I was Cobra or something like that, that's exactly the kind of move I would do. Like, Baby Metal are well popular enough now in most of Europe and all that to be able to headline and have an opening act. So why not have?
They've been that popular for a while.
Yeah,
I mean, they were filling out Wembley Stadium a good few years ago.
Yeah, why not have Band-Maid? Why not have Love Bites? Why not have Unlucky Morpheus? Unlucky Morpheus haven't been to Europe in fucking God knows forever.
Do you know what I think that Baby Metal would more likely have Love Bites open for them because there's that similar vibe of like the big theatrical metal thing. One of the things I love about Band-Maid so much is the fact that Band-Maid are very able to remove themselves from that when they need to. They can be heavy, but they can also be something very different. I think Baby Metal can too, but they're more rooted in metal. So you look at the groups Baby Metal have been playing with, it's things like Sabaton, it's things like Lordy, these are groups who are like very much metal, 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 metal. It's their whole image is based around metal.
Yeah.
So I think Love Bites is the best chance that you'd maybe get with that. I think with Band-Maid though, I mean, it's hard to know who Band-Maid would play with, because the issue that I see here is that whereas like Babe Metal are looking at a lot of the big name metal acts, and metal is a very strong subgenre, like the genre of just rock bands, like hard rock bands, it's not been as successful in the West as it seems to be currently in Japan. I mean, metal is always, because it's on the more extreme end, it's always got a very strong fandom. You know, people who just want as hard as it gets kind of music. Whereas people, yeah, like, I just want metal. Metal is everything I like. It was the Batman voice.
I was Batman.
Where's the metal? Where's the metal?
Coffee! Where's my coffee?
Milk, 2 sugars. But the point is that I think there are less contemporaries. I mean, for example, I can really imagine like Band-Maid playing with like Foo Fighters. That I can imagine.
Yeah.
That would be like a really good mixture. They would be like perfect. But like, I don't know, maybe I'm just really out of touch with Western music, but I can't think what kind of like hard rock bands on a similar sort of tone are there to Band-Maid in the West who they could perform with. And I can't really think of any. So Band-Maid would really have to kind of arrange their own tour. They'd have to be the headlining act, and that means that they're probably going to be playing slightly smaller venues, because as much as we love them, you know, they're more popular in America, and they're only, you know, fueling that at the moment than they probably are in Europe. And so as a result, there would be significantly less return financially on them going to Europe, but it is the investment in the fans. So they might make a lot less money spending time going to Europe, but they will recoup that money through the fandom that comes with like CD sales, you know, even streaming figures, merchandise. They will recoup that money in keeping that market on side. So for me, I totally get the current short-sighted business approach of what they're doing. And I would encourage fans to wait, because I'm sure they're going to be back in Europe. But I do think that it would make sense for Band-Maid's management to say, you know what, we should be buttering up the European fans, because that's a continent which likes music.
Yeah.
And they like us. And, fucking Europe's got some goddamn big tours. I mean, there's got to be some big tours this summer, like in the UK, which Band-Maid could just stick their name on and say, look, we're going to do this, Ben. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Which ones? What are like because I'm so out of touch with the UK right now. That's not just me being a weeb. Like literally, ever since I left, I have not kept up to date with things. Like my friend like came over and he showed me like the new like £10 and £20 notes. I was like, what the fuck is this space money that you people are using now?
No, it's pretty good. The amount of notes that I've saved from like the tumble dryer and washing machine.
Have you got like an English note there? Because let's just compare your English.
I literally wish I had money on me right now. I get paid tomorrow. I am skin at the minute.
That's proper paper. That is proper paper. We haven't got any funny see-through windows in our money or anything.
Yes, it's like a weird hybrid of paper and plastic. It's pretty cool actually.
Like a polymer plastic thing. Anyway, there's a lot of that polymer plastic that Band-Maid could be collecting. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm interested to know what people in the comments say about this one. Like, what do you feel about like Band-Maid touring and stuff like that? And I don't think it's just Band-Maid as well. I mean, look at Atarashi at the minute. The band Howard loves so much. Has also...
because I'm honest in my reviews. I don't love every of their songs. Some of the songs I like, some of the songs I don't like. I get a load of stick. Like Howard, just do reaction videos. Sit there and go.
I know. You'd be surprised how many people like when I'm on my live stream and stuff like that. Like I turn around and like I give my honest opinions. I'm like, and I got people in my own chat going, "Leon, that's a bit harsh, like, isn't it?" Like, and I'm like, "Well,
Leon, Darren, you gave an opinion.
Yeah,
That's not
I know.
what reaction videos are for.
Yeah. I've actually had 1 or 2 people in my chat going, I'm not requesting anything from Leon again. He was so mean to my reaction. I'm like, I'm just being honest.
I really love the sense of shock people get when they tune into your channel. Like, oh, he's got 17,000 subscribers and he listens to music. He's going to tell me everything I like is great. And then you listen to it and you go, all right. It's like, I love the response. Honesty is our name. Honesty is our game, at least. Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a few reactions. Like even my chat, like Neon, don't post that. Don't post that on YouTube. I'm like, all right then.
But I would, I agree with you. I'd be interested to know what people think about this. Whether you at home, whether you fall into that camp as a Band-Maid fan. I'm assuming that you feel. I mean, first of all, where are you? Are you located in Europe or outside of Europe? I'd love to know your opinion as well. Do you think Band-Maid are? Okay, I don't think anyone would argue what they're doing at the moment is good business sense, but do you think they should be paying a little bit of effective lip service by doing a couple of tours, a couple of venues in like Europe and stuff like that, just to sort of like show a little bit of love to the fans? Is this like, I mean, obviously it's not the band's decision, just before anyone starts saying it. It's not like Konami sitting there with a map putting things on. It's down to the like management and record companies, obviously. But do you think that the company should be steering Band-Maid more towards playing in other places just to sort of maintain how broad their fandom is? Do you think they would recoup those costs in merchandise and other things? Or do you think that the best thing for them to do is really hammer home the advantage, considering how many big opportunities are coming out in America at the moment? Or do you think they should just say, fuck sleep, we're going to tour non-stop for the next year or so?
Yeah,
and love to know what you guys think.
Yeah, and if you're American, you get to brag in the comments if you're going to see them. So it's all good.
Don't worry, I'm gonna see them in Japan.
I'm gonna see them in my dreams.
Who knows? You might see them with baby metal, and then I'll be really pissed off.
That's how happy Band-Maid make Howard.
All right, guys. Anyway, you know what it is. Get in the comments, tell us what you think, and we'll chat to you soon. We've got to do our outro thing, haven't we?
Yeah.
And remember to keep your
ears to the east.
To the east.
We think that's the right way. I don't know. We'll work it out.
I'm gonna put this out before the video where we discuss that.
Don't forget don't forget like, subscribe, go and visit our channels, and don't forget that Howard wants Miki to expose herself. Have a good day, guys. Bye.
Whoa!